Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Starfleet News Service. My name is Ken Kopacki, and I'm the director of the Corps of Engineers AV department. This show is going to aim to feature interesting and fun themes from around the fleet from a variety of different members and chapters. And for this one, however, we're going to take a little time to talk a little bit about the new Corps of Engineers. And with that, I would like to bring on our first guest, Joshua Laughlin, who is the director of many things within the Corps of Engineers. Welcome, sir.
How's it going?
It is going. Glad to have you here. So, you're like how many? I've been told you are the director of 3 different departments within Corps of Engineers.
That's correct. Director over 3D printing, props, and costuming.
So you could probably give everyone just a quick overview of what the Corps of Engineers is all about.
So, one of the things that we're working on right now is we're designing things. It's not just the 3D printing aspect, but we're designing things for the organization as a whole. And we have our 3D printing people, and we're going over that, getting people that enjoy 3D printing, but getting them calibrated, helping them out with all that kind of stuff. And we're trying to build for the organization. Like we've seen what the quartermaster has, we've seen what it can be, and I know we can produce some amazing things when we work together. And so I'm really excited about that. And from there, you got props, and that's the people that can paint, they can build, they have machinery, they have tools, and it's really just focusing everyone's skill set onto specific tasks. And getting everyone that's on that same level, so everything that we do is going to be the same across the board. And in costuming, being able to have resources to be able to make various costumes. Like there's a wonderful lady who makes one of the most amazing Ferengi costumes I've ever seen. Putting together the guides to be able to do that kind of stuff, I know there's people that are out there that are begging for it, and we're going to be providing all that for everyone. Just a little bit.
Very cool. Very cool. And I sorry to throw so much at you at once like that, but I figured it was better than do a shotgun approach than no approach. So you mentioned things like the costumes and stuff like that. Any specific projects you guys are working on right now that you want to share with everybody?
So starting backwards, the costuming, we have them working on the resource guides. Like I mentioned about the lady that does that Ferengi costume, she's putting together the various resources, and that's a big deal, because whether it's making something's one thing, but knowing what materials you need, that's a big difference. Or the makeup, or where can I buy this? That's the kind of stuff that's really important. So they're working on some of their costuming that they've done. In the props department, they're working on. They have this project, the Guardian Forever. That was something that was mentioned that they wanted to do. So they're set that up to work on this big Guardian Forever. And as far as 3D printing goes, we're getting them ready to print out these their favorite ships. Like don't have to pick just one thing. Just go big, have fun. That's what we want to see, is have some fun with it. It's the excitement of doing it.
Oh yeah, I've been following that Guardian of Forever project, and I can't wait to see what people are going to start coming up with. I mean, just how detailed everyone was getting in and on. It was like, this is going to be fun.
And that's what it's all about. Have fun. It's engineers are the builders. We're the doers. Let's do it, and do it with fun.
Oh, absolutely. So, we got any questions from anyone out there in internet land? I know some of y'all are watching. We got a hello from Randy, one of our own in here in the Corps of Engineers. He's out of the Nomad in Region 3. There he is. He appears to be on a canoe. I envy him. And a wild Chris appears.
Hey, Ken. I figured I'd jump in and talk a little about the Corps of Engineers also.
Please.
So I'm in the AV and the web development departments. Very much like what Josh was talking about, we're looking just to create stuff for various chapters around Starfleet or programs like this that, give a platform for Starfleet to make announcements and have general discussions about what's going on in the fleet. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be a part of the Corps Engineers. We're definitely recruiting. That's something a big, anybody who's interested in making something and who has a skill set, feel free to reach out to Aaron or reach out to Ryan Case, and yeah, I'll provide this is Aaron's email here. So if you're interested in joining the Corps of Engineers, reach out to her, let her know what you're interested in doing. If you don't have a specific skill, but you're interested in learning about a specific skill, then, we're always taking mentorships. We're taking people in for mentorships. So yeah, I mean, it's a good time. Anyone should check it out.
Yeah, if you've got any kind of creative outlet or interest, odds are we can put it to use.
For sure.
We found stuff for all of us to do, so let's hope for anyone.
So Josh, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
What are you most excited about working with the Corps of Engineers? Is it the camaraderie and meeting new people or is it just, the opportunity to develop stuff for the fleet?
I mean, it's a combination. I love the idea that we're getting like-minded people that are enthusiastic about building. And it's the idea of being able to create things for the organization, like, stuff that we don't have or stuff that the quality wasn't what we were hoping for, is money-wise or this, that, and the other. We're going to be able to build and make. And that, to me, is a very exciting thing. Because I know there's stuff out there that we've been asking for. And, I mean, there's certain things we can and can't do on a money scale, but 3D printing and our department itself is going to be able to change that, and that's just exciting.
Yeah, I hear there's like we have 3D printers on 4 different continents.
There's a lot of people with 3D printers. We got lots of people doing some stuff, and there's some people with a plethora of 3D printers, like from what most people would think about with 3D printers, the FDM style, where it melts plastic and builds it up layer by layer. Then you got guys with resin printers, where it's the liquid resin pulling it up, and there's guys that got like 4 or 5 of the FDM, 3 different resin. I mean, there's people that are ready, and so I'm excited that we're all coming together to build for the the organization.
Yeah, so I know you're a member of a bunch of different departments, but what do you think your specialty is? Like, what is it that you like to do most?
3D printing, but also I like the designing. I work with CAD in my spare time, and it's the fact that I can take an idea and make it into an object that we can all create. And so that's really exciting to me, is something unique that's to us, not downloading it off of another website. It's something someone else created. It's something that's in-house, and all that stays in-house. It's donated to Starfleet. Once I create something, it's completely donated. It's not my property.
That brings me to something else. Now that I think about it, do you know anything about the resource bank? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So there is a resource bank. My understanding right now is that we've been uploading stuff, and it's going to be put on a Google Drive, and that's going to be available for everyone.
Yeah, I think as far as the resource bank is concerned, I mean, its purpose is to hold the different designs, different files that people create for the Corps of Engineers, so that anybody else has access to them. And I believe actually our goal is that we're going to host that on sfi.org, and then we're going to have an interface, some sort of web interface in front of that where members can log in and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting times.
Yeah,
Very.
It is. It's exciting. Not too long ago, this wouldn't have been possible. We wouldn't have all been able to work together on a project virtually or remotely or whatever. So yeah, it is an exciting time now to be a creator.
Oh, absolutely. Our ambition is finally catching up to the technology is catching up to our ambition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an amazing time. I mean, I can remember it. I'm going to show my age a little here. I remember when we did everything through the mail.
Yeah.
Actual honest to God post stuff. I remember when email became a thing and everyone thought it was the greatest thing ever. And it's amazing to see where we are now, and we're able to have these remote conversations with people. We put on events with people across the globe, like they're just sitting across from us.
Right.
I can't imagine to see where Starfleet's going to be in the next 5 years.
Oh yeah.
The only limitation we have is ourselves. I mean,
yes,
and that's the great thing about a team, is that we can bounce these ideas off, and it never becomes stagnant. We're always working as a team, and that's fantastic. I mean, we're going to build the world. We're going to do it.
Just think of I dream of a world not too far from now, long from now, where we'll be able to put on a VR headset and gather together, and the first thing we're going to start doing is walking around trying to do nerve pinches on people. It's going to happen. And then wedgies, and then it's going to be a glorious thing.
But just to go back to what you were saying before, I really hope that anyone that's watching that is even the slightly bit interested will reach out. Like,
yes,
join us, and have some fun. You're going to learn something too. We always are helping each other. That's what we do.
Yeah, for instance, this is my first time really running StreamYard, but it was a project I wanted to get involved in, and Ken helped me learn a little bit about it. So here we are.
Yes,
we're having a broadcast.
And all this was produced with Corps of Engineer assets. It was all produced in-house. So, we've got a good AV department we're putting together, and we've got a lot of cool stuff in the works, like this, for instance.
Yeah, let's not forget too, we have the graphics department, which is people
Yes.
that specialize in Photoshop and Illustrator and making assets for us to use. And then we've got the actual art department, which would be anybody who paints and draws and creates physical art by hand. So, I mean, there's a little bit of something for anyone who creates something.
Yeah, pretty much. If you've got a creative talent, like I said, I'm sure we've got a use.
Exactly.
Oh, let's see. 300 baud modems. Yes, I remember 300 baud modems.
I think the first modem I had was 2800 baud or something like that.
24. 28.8 or 2400.
Yeah.
That's how 300, 1200, 2400, 4800, 9600, 12.8, 14.4, etc., etc. God,
Yeah.
I've seen it all. My first one, it didn't even have a speaker on it. It had a red LED, and I had to interpret the pulses. And if it looked like a certain pulse, I'd start hitting the enter key on my Commodore like a happy little monkey. And then if it worked, I'd get a login prompt. And that's how BBSs worked in 1987. Yeah, I've been online for a long time.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Yes, I'm one of the elders of the internet that you hear about on the IT crowd. All right, so I don't see any questions from anybody. Anything else you want to add, Josh, before we bring in that troublemaker next to you?
I hope I've touched on everything. They could just off the top of my head. I'm sure I might forget something here and there, but I want to keep saying it. I hope, and I will encourage you to join us. If you have the skill, or if you want to learn the skill, if you're just interested, reach out, join us, because I think you're going to have a good time. I believe it. That's about all I got.
I can absolutely concur with that, because we've been having an absolute ball so far. So there's just a lot of cool people making a lot of cool stuff. So you guys want to get in, you should get involved, really. All right. So we've got something else coming up. Yeah. The evil Cysops. Nice. Oh, you got any door games handy? Because I could play some Yankee Trader or some Drug Wars. That was another fun one back in the day. Door games. I love it. All right. Okay. We've got Jeremy wanting to come on, or I'm forcing Jeremy to come on to talk about a little thing he's put together. Hello, sir. You're on mute.
That's what I got engineers for.
Yeah. I am apparently sitting directly to your right. If you look at the way this
you're
you're over there. Hi, I can see you.
Over the window.
Night Dragon says, "I'd love to join." Hey, no, can we put that back up?
Okay,
well, just keep an eye on what's going on, and as soon as you are, in a better position to help out, we'll be here. We'll be happy to have you.
I mean, you're accessing the internet at some point here already, so you have the ability at least to keep track and keep updated, keep communicating with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's keep on it.
All right. Well, welcome, Jeremy. Long time no see. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
FinCon?
We're broadcasting here from FenCon, and
Want to give them a quick little plug?
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
actually want to. We've been having an amazing time at FenCon. This is a science fiction genre writing and actual science convention that's just amazing. It's on the smaller scale, but it's on the like important scale. Like you don't host a Worldcon without coming and pitching it here, kind of thing. It's really the only reason to go to Dallas. I don't know why anyone else lives in Dallas, but
I think they got a good hockey team.
I guess. How's it going, Fran? How's it going, ma'am? Former Commander Starfleet, right there. So FenCon's been doing great, and this is the first year in some time that Starfleet has partnered with them. We've had about 25 Starfleet members here, just having a great time. We ran our own panels. They made me moderate real people with like real credentials. But I ended up having to charge my batteries. It's just delightful. But then I heard we had to do like Josh has to record at some point. Like, bring the laptop. Why don't you just do it here? And then somehow I got roped into being on as well.
Yeah, because I was like, well, you're already here, and you've got a little segment. So I figured might as well, I'm looking to I'm padding runtime. So you were there,
What was really interesting to me about that one is I want to clear. I'm really happy about this upcoming thing we're about to announce, and it really kind of caters into the outside of the box thinking that the Corps of Engineers has, in that if you have a passion and a creative skill, you can come showcase it somehow. And Ken brought this one to me, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. But some people may remember that I have a certain passion for libations.
No.
Yeah.
Never have guessed.
We've been slinging drinks all weekend here at FenCon, doing room parties. We're now like the de facto close things down. We are the dead dog party now. Like all the hotel is now in my room.
So are you pickled now? I mean, are you?
No,
I mean, you're doing pretty good. I mean, you're more coherent than I would have expected, considering it's Sunday after a con.
I'm running on fumes. Is being tired is mainly the thing. So I'm trying to energy for being online. But no, when you're slinging drinks, you don't put them down your own throat quite so fast. So
not fair point.
And doing a little bit of glad handing and doing the social networking and just conversations here are amazing. I think this is the conversation con. You're going to have some wacky conversations you never thought about, and you're going to dive deep down a rabbit hole. And yeah, absolutely, FenCon is great, and we need it and more like it throughout Starfleet. And for those of you not in Region 3, find those cons. I know Region 1 has Fantasy and I think LibertyCon. I forget where MarsCon is, but there's these other smaller literary focused or sci-fi focused conventions out there that have just amazing people attend them. Go partner with them. Bring 25 Starfleet members there. Bring, we got a deal. I basically got Starfleet half off to come here in exchange for running some panels and doing and bringing a bunch of people. One even a hard sell. Make those partnerships. Do the things that are local to you guys' area. We'll have like the core of the diplomatic corps to help you guys out with that in coming days as we restructure that. But no, this one apparently Ken decided hey, I know a guy that has a couple opinions about alcohol. Why don't we do a mixology segment? And
that's right.
I was kind of game. Like the whole reason I bought a blue uniform was like mixology ends in ology. That's a science.
Yes.
But also, I'm drinking an old fashioned right now. It's a built drink, so that's engineering.
Oh well. Well, you are the mixologist.
So yeah, we're gonna do like shorts versions, like a little quick, and I think those will probably focus more on like the Trek and sci-fi focused drinks, whereas the longer ones will just be a platform for me to wax poetical about classic cocktails and like the actual science and reason that some things are made the way they were over history and where they are now. And I want to do a couple of them where it does kind of build on that, why it's done, when it was done, so that as we progress down the series, we've got that backbone to kind of rely on, the underlying theory. And then I want to invite the audience to pitch things like, ooh, what I want something like this, or I saw this recipe on the internet. What do you think of it? Get the audience involved, get people involved, because it's fun to sit there and make drinks at home and enjoy it with it, or enjoy it with your crews. And no one wants a bad Romulan ale, right? No one wants. So we're here to vet some of this for you.
And I can testify, having edited it all, you guys look like you were having a lot of fun doing it. So
that was an interesting.
It was definitely a good idea to do this. So
yeah,
but you're right. We're going to do the shorter segments, which will air on here, and then we'll do longer ones that'll run however long they need to run, and those will drop directly on the SFI YouTube channel. Where in just a little while, the full version of what you guys are about to see, the short version of, will drop. So, all right,
let us know where you guys want to see it go. This is just an idea right now. Like a lot of the Corps of Engineers, the idea is to get people together, do things, have fun together, and make resources available that mean something to people. Even if it's this frivolous thing, but if you've got a creative talent and a passion, then I'm not a 3D modeler. I peck at websites a bit here and there. Apparently,
you are a 3D imbiber.
Yeah, I write some manuals here and there, but one of my hobbies is literally exploring alcoholic beverages and why they're made and how they're made, and trying new ones.
All right. Yes. So, all right. Without any further ado, well, thank you very much for joining us. Just to let you all know, it was fantastic having Jeremy and Josh here as our first live guests. They were on the top of the list, just so everyone knows, and that list was marked worst case scenario. But regardless, it was absolutely fantastic. I stole that line from Jimmy Carr. Thank you very much, sir. So with that, Chris, if you want to go ahead and roll that beautiful booze footage.
My pocketbook is empty and my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, just waiting for a train.
Welcome to the deep bowels of engineering here on the USS Battleborn. You'll find that we are in a little different attire. It is September, the birth month of Star Trek, and where better to celebrate that than with the original series, or Strange New Worlds outfits, and who better to make cocktails? Engineering. Here with one of my favorite red shirts, and we're going to start with martinis and their variants today. Martini is one of the other classic cocktails that comes to mind, and how to build them and why they're built in a certain way does matter. Again, we're going to go off the human version of this because they document things even better than the Klingons or the Ferengi. Ferengi's more about quantity and how you can dilute it. It's really bad. All right, so. First up, martinis are made with gin. They're not made with vodka. If someone tells you that martinis are made with vodka, throw them out the airlock. You don't need that in your life. Or use Citadel. This is a French gin. And a lot of people don't like gin. They're adverse to the martini with gin because it feels like being beaten to death with a pine tree in your face. Those are London dry gins. And they have their place. Expressly if you want to be beat to death with a juniper. If you don't, there's so much other gins. It's just literally the world's first flavored vodka. You just add botanicals put in your drink, and that's where we're going to start. So we're going to start with gin. We're actually going to start with a glass. Let's put swine center. Hopefully this isn't too damn loud. You know, the great debate on most of your martini cocktails is ratios. You know, a big part, we're going to do a little bit of math. 6-to-1 is Engineer Jeremy's favorite ratio. I drink with people I love very much, they like 5-to-1. That's a little even more old school. Like, the actual first martinis were almost like 1/3 to 2/3 of vermouth to the gin. Nowadays, if someone does a little spritzy action and throws some other things in there, like, no, you beat them to death too, and throw them out the airlock white with vodka people. They're bad. So, we're going to do 6-to-1. You can go higher, you can go lower. Taste preference. If you're just rinsing the glass, just go have a thing of gin, sit in the corner with your sad self. What's really nice about this is 1 ounce of vermouth. It's going with Dolan here today. I'm going to flip this particular bad boy over, and the next half is 6. And so I'm going to make 2. You should never drink a martini alone. We've got engineering buddies here. Other great question about martinis. Are they shaken or are they stirred? James Bond was a masochist. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you want people to hide drugs in your stuff, then by all means. Shake the shit out of that. But a proper gin martini should be stirred. And it really is a matter of your dilution, like how much water do you want it, like how smooth do you want it. But the idea is you should just stir it, and however you make them, you should stir it that many times every time. That gives you consistency. I go with 30. Someone's going to be counting frame rates now, I understand that. But I'm pretty sure that's it. I do not like the traditional cocktail martini glass. And if anyone's ever studied how tsunamis are made, they'll understand why. And if not, then I invite you down to Cetaceous Ops, and one of those crew members will let you know. His traditional garnish would be olives. I went with some garlic stuffed olives this time. I lost one. What was that? Because that was going to be my fruit portion for the day. Hey, brother. Thanks for coming down to engineering.
Sure. Is that an olive?
Yes.
I don't eat olives.
You don't know fruit fruit.
Well, all right.
All right, and again, well, first, thank you, Jeremy, for producing that for us. That was fantastic. And for the full version, you can go to the SFI YouTube channel in about 15 minutes, and the full version will drop.
Yep, the same YouTube channel you're watching right now if you're watching this
Yes.
broadcast.
And I have a theory about James Bond and shaken versus stirred. Shaking it dilutes it, okay, given, but he was on the job usually. He didn't necessarily want to get drunk. He wanted to give the appearance to people that he was drinking. But he wasn't getting necessarily inebriated to the point where he couldn't like do all the spice stuff. So I've explained it. Done. Mark it. Or something. I don't know. But that was a great segment. I had a lot of fun helping him put it together, and I'm looking forward to the next ones. So yeah, hope everyone liked that. And so we will segue into Corps of Engineer news. Chris, hello again.
Hello. So yes, let's go over some Starfleet news, some stuff that's going on right now in Starfleet. For one thing, the election is going on in Starfleet. Voting is open right now. If you are an active Starfleet member, meaning your account has not expired, you should have gotten an email from the IG giving you the ability to vote. So yeah, if you haven't gotten that, please contact the IG. other than that, today Region 1 is having a Meet the Candidates at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to be a part of that Meet the Candidates, it is a Zoom session. You can contact Aaron Poole or Kevin Plummer for the link to join. If you're in Region 1, I'm pretty sure you know how to get in touch with one of them. In other news, the Corps of Engineers has begun, which this entire segment has been focused on. One thing for sure is we are recruiting for the Corps of Engineers. We could definitely use anybody who is interested in producing things for the Corps. Web development in particular could use some more members. Web development is one of the more active groups. It will be creating web pages for chapters. So we could use anyone who has any web development experience, come on down and we can help figure out how our workflow for producing those web pages. In that vein, we are having a contest right now for the web development department to produce a web page for an active chapter for free. So there have been a form circulating around. There's a form circulating around Facebook, circulating members only the members only group. So if you are interested, you can contact somebody from the Corps of Engineers. You can talk to Randy Mitson. You can talk to myself, Chris Poole, or you can talk to Aaron, whose contact we put up earlier. Lastly, I'd like to send a thank you to Steve Parmley and the current administration for getting behind the Corps of Engineers, allowing us to introduce some new technology, some new broadcasts such as this to Starfleet, and just for generally being very supportive of what we're trying to do. So with that being said, Ken, that is our news.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so looking down at our big checklist, I do believe we have, on the subject of the elections and whatnot, we have a interview with Rear Admiral Stephen Stott, who is the SFI's Inspector General. Hello and welcome. Our guest is Rear Admiral Stephen Stott. He is the Inspector General for Starfleet International, who oversees our election process and mediates complaints between Starfleet International members. Hello, Stephen, and welcome to the program.
Greetings, and I am really pleased to be here, Ken.
Well, we're very glad to have you. You're our first official guest, so congratulations and welcome on that. Cutting straight to the chase, we've got an election for CS going on right now. Can you talk a little bit about what stage of the process that we're in?
Sure. Actually, we are in the last stage. We're in the voting stage. If you allow me, let me spend a moment to kind of give you a little bit of background so you understand. Most of the people in Starfleet join Starfleet to be members and enjoy this thing that we love called Star Trek. And so they look at it from the club activities and functions. But in reality, besides just being a fun club things to do, Starfleet International is actually an incorporated company that is chartered under the rules in North Carolina. So with that, that means that our Commander Starfleet, our Vice Commander Starfleet, actually in terms of the incorporation are the President and Vice President. And the board of directors is the Admiralty Board. So in our bylaws, we have rules that every 3 years we have to elect a Commander Starfleet and a Vice Commander Starfleet. And that's what this is. This is our triennial election. The process began in June of this year with the nomination phase. That's where RCs, regional coordinators, and chapter COs are able to nominate an individual. For an individual to move to the candidate phase, they have to get at least 5 nominations to qualify. Once they qualify as a candidate, then that phase goes from June, it's a 45-day period till the middle of July. And once that happens, and if they've met the 5 nominations, then they become a candidate, a bona fide candidate. Then the next phase is the phase that we are currently in, which is started 1 September, and that's the voting phase. And that's where all the members of Starfleet that are eligible actually vote for the commander and vice commander of Starfleet.
So that leads into my next question, which is for members out there who haven't voted yet or don't know about the process, how does one do that?
Well, what happens is, and this kind of goes back to my prep phase, one of the responsibilities I have as the Inspector General for Starfleet is to hire either a certified public accountant or a certified election vendor to actually do the election and manage the election. And once again, Simply Voting is who I selected to do that process. And what Simply Voting does is they do all the actual hard work for us. We provide them with the approved list of members that can vote along with their email addresses. Simply Voting then sends that, all those electors, they call them electors, they send them a ballot via email with a password and login when they get that ballot. Now, it's important to understand that the way where the email comes from is that the members that join Starfleet, when you register to join Starfleet, one of the things that you provide is a valid email address. And that's one of the reasons that you have to have that valid email address. That's what we use to track, and that's kept in the database. So anyway, as I explained, Simply Voting will send those electors a ballot via email. Actually, they'll send them a notice, and they'll have a personal login and password, and those are linked to each SCC number. All the members have an SCC number, so those ballots are linked to those numbers. And part of the tracking, once the voting process starts, which we are in, I can go in and I can see exactly who has voted and who hasn't and when they voted. I can't see who they voted for, but I can see the date and time group of when they voted.
Awesome.
All right.
That
So
was
that
some
was
good
the
information.
first. Yeah, it was a great interview. We had a good long talk. I learned a lot about the whole IG process, which is covered in the full-length video, which will be dropping on the same YouTube channel y'all are watching right now. And a big thanks to Stephen Stott and his entire team for what they do. Like I said, I had absolutely no idea all the stuff they're up to. Very cool. So I believe that wraps it up for today's first broadcast.
It does.
Randy? Yes, we do have some great members, and we are looking for more. We cannot stress recruiting enough.
We actually have a question from Randy. If someone's email address is bad in the database, they didn't get a vote email, how can they still vote and change their email address to the proper one? I believe that's mentioned in the
you can reach out to the IG at sfi.org, I believe is his email address. It's in the full-length video. I think he talks about that right in the segment right after we cut it off. But yeah, there is a mechanism in place where he can verify who you are and get that kind of stuff corrected.
And we have one more question from Night Dragon regarding the VIC auction receipts. He said they're still getting everything together and such. Are there any updates on that? There's no solid update on that right now. They are still getting the receipts together. You should be getting a receipt from the auction soon, and then everything will be getting shipped out. So that is still being worked on. It hasn't been forgotten. So yeah, just keep an eye out to your email for that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else?
I think that about covers it, Ken, for our first broadcast.
Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Well,
yeah,
hope everyone enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun putting it all together, and we've got a lot of cool things in store. If you've got any ideas on segments or you've got you can juggle. I mean, you can cook. Anything, I'll do stupid human tricks. I'm not below that kind of entertainment. So, reach out to us. And again, to join, we're running Aaron's email address on the bottom of the screen one more time. And on that note, Chris, you want to go and play us out?